how I use this teeny tiny camera for client interviews. So I've been saying on my channel and in my live streams with Colden and other people that I really believe the customer shouldn't really be worried about the camera you're using. They should only be concerned about what comes out the back end of that camera. What does the end product look like? And I've been saying for some time that I have been wanting to integrate these camera systems into my professional workflow because the image is so good and 10-bit log is so easy to work with that there's no reason for me to not use it for especially web-based things for a website or for social media. It just makes life easier, and it's a really good camera. So I thought, okay, I have this one customer, which I talk about all the time, the ballet, Ohio Contemporary Ballet, and I always do choreographer interviews. Whenever they have a new piece they're setting, they bring in a guest choreographer, and they let me do the interview with the choreographer to create interest in the show that's coming up. And I'm also able to use that content for Artist Reality on the Summit. The interview process, there's like all this setup because there's two things I do when I do an interview day. I go in and do the interview, and then I go capture some of the practice with the choreographer and see some of the staging, sort of in its rehearsal level. And so I'm like two different spaces, and I have all this gear, and I'm just trying to make that easier and easier every time I go there because it has to be quick. The ballet wants this information to be used and sent to their patrons, but at the same time, they don't really want it to impact too much on the actual rehearsal time, getting ready for a show. So integrating these pocket cameras into that workflow allows me to do that. So for the interview, I set it up, and it's tiny. I sent it to my buddy Cole, and I said, hey, look what I did today. And he goes, well, it looks just silly. And he's not wrong, but I think there's a hidden benefit there that you might not consider when you're doing particularly documentary style interviews. And that is this, fully out and aimed at your subject. This begins to disappear. It's so small. They're not paying attention to the camera anymore because this is so unobtrusive. In fact, one of the ballerinas I interviewed, well, this was her reaction when she first sat down.
That little thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
This thing is so cool.
Yeah.
I can't even. Then what happens, as you're sitting there and you're having your conversation, they kind of forget that they're even being interviewed, and it just becomes a conversation, which in my opinion always nets the best videos because the people are just being natural now. They're not thinking about, I have to say these exact words, and what do I say to make it sound impactful? They're just talking. Because elementally, anybody that you interview, they're probably an expert at the thing they do. That's why you're interviewing them. So you just got to get them talking, and they'll do the rest. And so a little camera like this makes it easier to get to the just talking. Now, everything else was the same. Well, I take that back. Using this little camera, of course, now I can use the little wireless mic system. One less problem, one less cable, one less issue to deal with. There is some concern, and I'm trying to figure out my workaround for it, that I can't monitor the audio. I wish there was a way to do that. If you guys have figured one out, let me know. But I think my workaround for that for the future will be on mic recording with the 32-bit float, as well as the camera. And that way I'm certain I've got a good recording somewhere, right? So that part's taken care of, the camera and the audio. Lighting's all the same. So I bring in a key light, I light the back wall, get some separation, and then on to the interview. Golden was the first one to say to me when he was saying, boy, that does look silly. And then he said, but you have been saying it only matters what the video looks like. Well, here's what the video looks like.
I'm Danielle Denise. I'm a freelance choreographer from New York City, and I toggle making works both for ballet and for musical theater.
So again, as you can see, it looks virtually the same as my mirrorless camera in this setup. It's got some nice separation from the background, it's a little soft. I shot this on the 3x lens so that I could get that sort of 60 millimeter look and, you know, not have any distortion on their faces while I was talking to them. And I think it's a very pleasing shot. I did make one mistake, but was able to salvage it. So I've heard from a number of people that, and I've said it, that the Ultra likes to be overexposed, not underexposed. And it's hard to tell on the screen right now just how overexposed you are. I don't have the update yet that allows for you to have an overlay, so you can see in the Rec 709, like, am I overexposed or not? Am I too bright? So you're kind of judging it, and I'm still learning what that looks like on that little tiny screen. So I really overexposed my interviews with the choreographer, but I was actually able to salvage it. I had to crank the highlights way down and the shadows make it way darker, but it worked. Like, it's a very pleasing image, and I don't see any noise or mess in there. It looks like it looked like this raw. And I applied my color grade and a LUT, and it looks like this. And I'm really pleased with the way it worked out. I mean, I got lucky because it was a client shoot, and I did overexpose it, but not too much. So be careful with that when you're working with this camera. It's just one of the things that, you know, once I understand that there's an update coming that allows you to apply that, and I'm looking forward to having that, because I think that will make that whole experience better, you know, and it will avoid potential problems in the future. Just something I thought I'd share. The one thing I dislike about this small camera system is, like, when I throw a 50 mil on my mirrorless and do an interview like that, I can really soften up the background. This, depending how close the camera gets to the person, is how soft the background gets, and that makes sense mathematically for this tiny sensor. I didn't want to crowd them, but I think in my next set of interviews, I'm going to move that camera just a little bit closer and more of a tight headshot. I was initially concerned about how much movement there would be. Many times when I interview these choreographers, they're very expressive, and so I don't want them getting out of frame. And it's safer for me to have a little bit wider and more headroom, and then crop and post if I want. But on the next one, I might try punching it in a little bit, just to see if I can get that background a little bit softer. So, what did you think of the look of that? Is that something you'd try? Have you already done it? Did you beat me to it? I mean, I see a lot of creators going out and shooting all kinds of cool landscapes and artsy B-roll shots, but using it for interviews, let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.